Hey everybody, Michael here from Replica Airguns with another Vimeo field test shooting video. I haven't really reviewed any of these guns. Now these are actually KWC guns, but they're distributed by Umarex, so they're licensed versions with the Beretta version. It's model M92A1, and then we have the 1911 Elite Force. Basically, it's a Tac 1911 Airsoft, and both of these guns are CO2 Blowback Airsoft Pistols. I did an update preview video. Again, we do have them in KWC versions, and I have done a number of different video reviews going kind of way back, but I don't believe I've ever field tested the Airsoft versions of these guns. I have done the BB versions, but I couldn't find field tests for the KWC versions, and definitely not these Umarex versions. Now, the Umarex and KWC versions are literally going to be identical other than the licensing. So whatever one you buy should perform about the same. So look at prices and things and whether or not you want licensing or not on the guns, and also sometimes availability if you're buying them. But right now we're going to do the chronograph test and see what kind of real world FPS we get. I can't remember what the specs are, but I did mention them in the preview video. So check out that preview video. I'll put a link in the description, and probably there'll be a link that'll come up at the end of the video. So let's get right to it. We're going to start off with the model 92A1 and see what kind of feet per second we get here. Okay, so we have some 0.25 gram Airsoft BBs. It's maybe 20 degrees Celsius here in the sea can, so not super warm, but not cold either. All right, here we go. 371, 363, 362, nice and consistent. 361 again, we'll do one more. Let's put that on safe. Decocked, 362, really consistent. Yeah, so that's not too bad at all. I will be doing, of course, I didn't mention it, but I will be doing the accuracy test right after this. But let's, I always start with the chronograph to see what kind of feet per second we get. Well, we don't need to reset it, that's fine. Let's just see what we get here, 5 rounds. The Tac 1911 Elite Force. And it looks like 369. 370, 363, 363, error, one more, error, let's just reset it just in case. Not sure why I'm getting an error, that's weird. Let's try this one more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Usually get really consistent results with this gun, or with this chronograph. 359, we'll do one more just in case. 351, so pretty consistent. Now keep in mind the FPS will be faster or higher if I was using 0.20 gram BBs, which is what the claimed FPS would be using. And so just to be, let's see what it says here. I don't have my glasses. So 415 was for the 1911. And then we have a claimed 395 for the Beretta. So they both were pretty close. If anything, the Beretta was a little hotter. So that's interesting. But they're both going to get around 400 or so with 0.20 gram BBs. And since we're using 0.25, we got into maybe the 370s tops. That's pretty close, I would say. You know, adding that extra 0.05 grams is going to slow it down just a little bit. All right, so we're going to put paper targets up for both of these guns. We're going to see what kind of accuracy I can get. 30 feet down range using a semi-rested sitting position with my hands rested on the sandbag up front like I always do. All right, let's do that right now. I've got my paper target all set up. We're going to switch this around. I'm going to first start off with the Umarex Elite Force 1911. Then we'll do the Model 92A1 just because the 92A1 has the full auto capability. I thought that would be kind of fun to finish up with. So let's get right to it. I've got this gun ready to go, 10 rounds, one in the chamber already because that's what happened with the last round. And let's see if we can get a nice little grouping here. We'll check it out. As soon as I get 10 shots in, it should lock back. Here we go. A little high. Last one, let's take a look, lock back. Okay, yeah, we had that, at least one that was high there, but the rest of them grouped nicely, all within almost an inch and a half. Really close, because it looks like the paper kind of ripped up there. I would say close to an inch and a half. Let's throw that one away. At the top there, 2 inches. Well, yeah, I would say closer to 2 inches when you go side to side, but nicely, nicely grouped, well centered, left and right, a little bit high, but not really crazy high. You know, if I was shooting further down range, it might drop in nicely, right on the bullseye. So let's just switch this paper up and let's see what the Beretta can do for us. Okay, take it off safe. I will have to caulk it because it decaulked when I put it on safe. There is one in the chamber, so I don't need to rack that slide or I'll be double loading a BB and I don't want to do that. All right, here we go. 10 rounds. I'll count them off in my head. Okay, we're going to talk about both guns real quick and then we'll finish up with the full auto. I just want to talk about them quickly while I'm still remembering stuff. Wow, another nice, well-centered grouping. This one was right on the bullseye for the most part. We did have one drop down here. All of these about an inch and a half, I would say, a little tighter. Normally speaking, the 1911s have the nicer triggers. They're just a little bit lighter. They're obviously a little shorter. They're very little take up at all. They're single action only guns, so the triggers are typically really light. I did find this one to be a little heavier though. Surprisingly, it wasn't as light as I'm used to. I'm not really sure why, because most of the KWC 1911s have really nice triggers. It just felt a little bit firmer, a little bit tougher at the beginning, or just, you know, at the actual break point of that trigger. So not sure why. It was a little, I thought maybe the gun was unsafe the first time I tried to pull it because I'm used to such a light trigger on the 1911. That said, felt like, you know, nice gun. I got used to it pretty quickly and everything felt really good. Blowback was really nice. Again, accuracy was good. Feet per second was good. The trigger on the Beretta though was just, you know, a little more take up, but just a smoother, lighter release. This gun will shoot in single and double action. So if I decaulk it, I then get I then have to uncaulk it and shoot the first round basically in double action, and then the rest would be single action from the blowback. But the trigger is nice. It's not too long in single action. In double action, it will be longer, obviously, because you're cocking that hammer back. But this gun felt really good, performed a little bit better on the target, got at least the same FPS. So far, this guy's doing it for me. I love 1911s. I'm also a big Beretta fan, so either way, I'm happy shooting either of these guns for sure. Okay, so I'm going to cock that back. We're going to carefully put this in full auto mode, and I'm just going to do a mag dump and hopefully not hit anything because these guns like to rock and roll. As you're going to see, I'm going to hold it as nicely as I can, try to keep it on target. Here we go. They did go a little high, typical, but yeah, you can see that things obviously spread out quite a bit, but they didn't go left and right as much as I thought they would. The gun was rocking up and down, so we came out of this zone. We hit a couple high ones. Some even came back, so I probably hit this metal a little bit. Some went a little lower. Some moved around, but that's to be expected when you shoot in full auto. These guns are not going to be, they're not going to be really that accurate in full auto. If you're trying to shoot pop cans, you're always going to be better off just shooting in semi-auto for sure, and just taking your time and picking off those things. But if you just want to blast away, full auto is a lot of fun with these guns. All right, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and Vimeo, our new Vimeo channel. Not YouTube anymore, because we're not there anymore. We talked about that. But anyways, again, thanks for watching. If you're interested in either one of these guns, we do have them in both KWC versions and Umarex versions. So Umarex versions will be licensed versions. Prices can vary, just depends on stock and inventory and what people demand and all that kind of stuff. But again, we have them. Check out KWC and Umarex versions over at replicaairguns.ca. And then we should have the Umarex versions over at replicaairguns.us in our US store. If you're interested in other products, airguns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories, then again, check out both replicaairguns.ca for Canada and replicaAirguns.us for the US. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.